call the meeting to order. We have no minutes from our April meeting as we did not have a quorum, so no business was held. We, however, did distribute, and you should have received minutes from our March meeting. I hope you have had an opportunity to review those and ask for a motion to approve those. Lynn, a second. Emery, thank you. Discussion. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Correspondence this evening. We have several individuals excused. Rich Brandt, Dr. Daly, Aidan O'Connor, Kathleen Allen, Dale Lingenfelter, Jim Vina, and Zori Pinero.
Excuse me, Kathleen is here this year.
Oh, you are here.
Yeah.
Well, Kathleen, you can't be both excused and present, can you? So we'll let the minutes reflect that you are here. My apologies. We have two disciplinary actions. New York State Department of Health advising that as a result of an investigation, Victor Carr of Eaton, New York, EMT number 207855, had his certification suspended through November 30th, 2014 for violations of Part 800.15, Section A, Part B. And Nicholas Barbu, B-A-R-B-U, Dix Hills, New York, New York State EMT number 316624, had his certification revoked effective May 2nd, 2014 for violations of Part 800.16, Section B. We have two other points of correspondence, but I'll just mention for the minutes. The letters are up here if you'd like to review them. One is a letter from Department of Health advising that the plan of corrections submitted by Columbia County in response to a statement of deficiencies was acceptable, and a notification from the City of Rensselaer and the appointment of William Hummel as their new fire chief. With that, we'll move to the CON committee report. Jim Reagan, if you have not signed this sheet, please do so now.
Okay, the CON committee met tonight, and we received the application from Lifton regarding the CON. We have two motions to bring forward tonight. Just a reminder, if you vote in the affirmative, you're voting for our motion that we made. First motion, the CON committee brings forward a second motion to accept the application of the Wilton Emergency Squad Incorporated as complete.
So that comes forth as a seconded motion. Any discussion? So this evening, if you vote in the affirmative, you are voting to pass the motion that was just read to you by the chairman of the CON committee. If you vote no, you are voting down or voting against the motion that's been brought before the council. Does everyone understand the motion? Are there any questions? Okay. Les Freemantle?
Yes.
William Price?
Yes.
Jim Reagan?
Yes.
PJ Keeler?
Yes.
Aidan O'Connor? Patricia is here?
Yes.
Jim Dorward?
Yes.
Kathleen Allen?
Yes.
Kevin Robert?
Yes.
Rich Ruther?
Yes.
Nash Alexander?
Abstain.
Chris Keogh? Dr. Jagoda?
Wait, I didn't hear Chris.
Chris Keogh?
Yes.
Dr. Jagoda?
Yes.
Steve Kroll?
Yes.
Lynn Kane?
Yes.
Jim Stairs?
Yes.
Skip Nerney?
Yes.
Steve Retzlaff?
Abstain.
Jeff Williams?
Yes.
Anne Marie Cross?
Yes.
As chairman, I'll abstain from the vote. Is there anyone with voting rights present that I did not call?
17 in favor, 3 abstentions.
17 in favor, 3 abstentions. The motion carries. Jim, is there any further business from the CON committee?
Yes, also in the matter of the Wilton application, we attended a public hearing in Wilton last month. And they're very informative. If you ever have a chance to go to one, I recommend that all the council members attend some of these public hearings. You all received a report from the hearing officer in the email, I believe, if you had a chance to read it. If you didn't, you have a copy here if you'd like to read it real quick. So the motion here is from the CON committee. We met and we agreed to accept the report and recommendation of the hearing officer. The motion comes seconded from the committee, and it is that The application made by Wilton Emergency Squad Incorporated seeking to expand its primary operating territory to the town of Greenfield not be approved.
We have a seconded motion from the CON committee. If you vote in the affirmative or vote yes, you are voting for the motion as presented by the chairman of the CON committee to pass. If you vote no, you're voting for that motion to fail. Does everyone understand the motion?
So just so I understand, the motion is to not approve the expansion?
The recommendation is to not be approved, not approve the expansion project.
Just a clarification, I think what you wanted to do is have these motions pass in the affirmative. So that the motion should be reading is to pass it. That way there is a positive or negative vote. That's why the state wants motions worded.
Okay.
So the motion will be worded so that it's in favor of passing. So then it's very clear when it goes on for appeal, that the regional council voted either in the affirmative or dissent.
Okay, so if you're voting in the affirmative, you are voting against,
You're voting for the
you're
application.
voting for the recommendation of the CON committee, which is to not expand the operating authority. Is that clear to everyone at this point? Okay. So a vote in the affirmative is a vote in favor of the motion. Les Freeman.
Yes.
William Price.
Yes.
Jim Reagan.
Yes.
BJ Keeler.
Yes.
Patricia McNean.
Yes.
Jim Dorward.
Yes.
Kathleen Allen.
Yes.
Kevin Robert.
No.
Rich Ruther.
Abstain.
Nash Alexander.
Abstain.
Chris Keough.
Yes.
Al Jagoda.
Abstain.
Steve Kroll.
Yes.
Lynn Kane.
Yes.
Jim Stairs.
Yes.
Skip Nerdy.
Yes.
Steve Retzloff.
Abstain.
Jeff Williams.
Yes.
Anne Marie Cross.
Yes.
Steve Rinaldi is chairman. I'll also abstain. Can you read back the roll call vote, please?
Yeah, it's gonna be hard for me to go up on here. I mean, I can, but
I think we
who
all.
are you
I
missing?
think I'm the only one that voted no. I got all the abstentions.
From
That's correct.
All right.
We're just checking for the
14 yes. 5
I just showed.
Nope. 14 in favor,
1 not in favor.
1 not in favor, 5 abstentions, motion carries.
Actually, it does not.
Sorry, the motion fails.
Yes.
Correct. My apologies. Jim, any other business?
Yes, in another matter, the committee is in receipt of an application from Delmar Bethlehem EMS about transfer of operating authority. We haven't even looked at it yet, so.
Okay. Any questions?
What happens to this now?
Is it approved now as opposed to not approved?
We didn't vote on approving it.
We did not vote on approving it, correct?
So the results of the vote that just took place are no action by this body?
Is that acceptable?
What Les was trying to tell you, I think, before was we had to be voting, yes, we wanted to expand the territory, or no, we didn't want to expand the territory. And that's not what we voted on. And that's why the states come down with clarification, and that's why the whole thing gets messed up and gets sent back to the regions. They wanted to put it in a positive, yes, you want it to expand, no, you don't. And we didn't do that, so now we're stuck with a nothing vote, and we don't know what to do.
Right. Well, We had a seconded motion on the floor that we need to vote on. The CON committee could bring forth an alternate motion for consideration.
That's why I asked you. Just making sure I was voting the right one.
Mm-hmm.
Jim, any further business? Okay. Executive Director report, Tim? Sorry,
Everybody,
Jeff, did you have a
So
question?
how does it leave? We didn't get an answer. So when we send our report into the state, what is it going to say? And that's
My understanding of the motion that was presented was that the recommendation of the CON committee was to not expand the operating authority. I believe that's the motion that was voted upon. Can you read back that motion? Yeah. Step up.
Yeah, it just takes me a minute.
I mean, I appreciate Jeff and.
I'm not trying to be on.
No, I appreciate
No,
the.
but don't wanna hang-
No, I appreciate the intent to clarify it. I mean, absolutely, we want to make sure that it's clear and accurate and is reflective of both the recommendation of the CON committee as well as the decisive action of this body. Steve?
I'm confused, and you explained this so I understand it, but we did not have 16 votes in favor of the motion, so the motion did not pass, correct?
Correct. That's correct.
So it is as if no vote, so there was no action taken at this meeting on this CON. Because the seconded motion was brought forward, and while approved by a majority of, people voting, it didn't have enough to pass. So what does that mean for this? Does it mean it gets remanded back to the committee? Or this council has no opinion on it? That's my question, is just what is the long term, how does this play out?
Jeff?
That was my question. So, what are we going to report, what are we going to
I mean,
do?
we obviously didn't approve this, right?
We did not approve it.
Not disapproving it is not approving it.
Right. This is a circumstance in which I would believe, and Tim, correct me if I'm wrong, that our action would be to notify the state of exactly what transpired, which was that we had a roll call vote requiring 16 votes, and we received 15 votes in favor, 1 vote against. 14 votes in favor.
14, 5, and 1.
1 vote against, and
5 abstentions.
5 abstentions, and we're unable to take any other action at this meeting.
That's correct, but I don't know where the application will stand now.
My recommendation is to reformat the vote question. And I don't know if we can do that now that we voted, but just plain simply put it as, do you want expansion? Yes. Do you not want expansion? No. And it's crystal clear, and that's the outcome is clear. It's not a matter of favoring a motion one way or the other. It's just vote on whether you want to accept the idea of expansion or not.
If the CON committee chair would like to bring forward another motion for consideration, or anyone else would,
He would have to get it.
he will have to
He would have to
convene
get it.
the
He would
CON
have to
committee.
get it.
We would have to adjourn for the CON committee to meet, hold official business regarding this issue, and then return with an action. Is it your desire to do so, or is your desire to table the issue at this point?
I think we should table it and see clarification, I suppose.
Okay.
Where are we on the 60 days?
Up against it. Right, that wasn't the
I believe, I want to say it was April 2nd. I think next week, June 2nd, is the absolute deadline. Drop
That's
dead
why
date.
you went back and forth with the 19th and the 2nd.
I mean, not next week, the following week. June 2nd, I believe, is the 60-day.
Is it 60 days?
During
into
that
the
time,
system?
could we attempt to get an opinion from the state, what they feel we should do from this point on?
That would be the next one.
And then can we do a vote by email on this?
No, not for
No.
us.
No, and that we roll call.
And is it 60 days to act or 60 days to have a vote?
I think it's 60 days to act on it. While we didn't come to a resolution.
Well, we did act.
We did act.
We did act.
We did act.
on it. Right.
We did not act successfully.
So I
or
believe-
unsuccessfully, but we did act.
I could be wrong, and if anyone has a different opinion, I'd love to hear it, but by 6:06, I think we're okay timeline-wise, because we did something about it. We didn't just ignore it.
I mean, this is a real meeting. We had a quorum.
Exactly. So, my idea, and I don't want to step on your toes, is to table it for the moment, and get an opinion out of the state, and then we'll proceed from there.
I don't think you can table. I think the motion is already made and acted on.
Which motion? I'm getting
You need a
confused.
motion.
Huh?
There's no motion to table. COA committee placed the motion on the floor. It's
Which was
voted on
already
that.
voted on.
That's correct.
But I'm
So
saying
you
from
can't
this
table
point,
it unless there's a motion on the floor.
well, we can do no more action on it. I mean, what are we going, we're going to vote on the same motion again, you're going to end up with the same result. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I mean, if anyone has a different opinion, I'd love to hear it.
So essentially, we're not tabling, we're looking for
Guidance,
guidance over the next,
how to proceed.
how to proceed, what our next step would be.
So.
Tabling's a bad word, then.
Right, so the go-forward action is Jim, as chairman of the CON committee, will work with Tim, contact the state, notifying them of the events that transpired at this meeting this evening, and will return to this committee with the recommendation. You can communicate the direction of the state by email, but in the event that this matter comes before the council for vote by the CON committee, it'll need to be an in-person roll call vote. Okay. Rich Brand is excused tonight. PJ Keeler will provide the treasurer's report.
After that, my job's pretty easy. We're in good financial shape, for $570,000. We do have two bills that were approved by email previously, though. You'll notice that it's under old business in the agenda for tonight. One was for the Android protocol application for $1,200, and the other one was for the scan charm test grader, $25. That needs to be read into the minutes.
So we had an email vote that passed by email. As PJ mentioned, one was for the $1,200 for the Android protocol app, and the other was $2,519 for a scan card test grader. Those are previously passed, so we're just reading those into the minutes for recognition. Any questions for our surrogate treasurer?
I think you did fine.
I think he did an excellent job. Thank you, sir. Dr. Daly is excused this evening. We do not have a medical director, medical advisory, or academic committee report. On the Remsco, I have no update for you other than we will meet on June 5th and June 6th, after which I will prepare and distribute appropriately a report to this committee. Steve, do you have anything else on the Remsco?
The only thing is that obviously tomorrow being the EMS Memorial, 11 a.m. in Empire State Plaza. 10 names will be inducted on the memorial, which is the most ever inducted in 1 year. And those will be 10 fire department of New York providers who have passed away since 9/11 for 9/11 related diseases. If anybody's agencies are not already planning to be represented and wish to, I think it's a great show of solidarity for our colleagues throughout the profession, for those folks that
Thank you, Steve. Nurses Committee report, Anne Marie.
We meet this Thursday.
All right.
Saratoga Hospital in Houston.
MCI committee.
We've been attempting for the last 2 months to test the MCI system out. We have failed to do that so far, but there'll be a surprise test in the near future, so that, and it won't be on July 4th that we know of. So Skip says if you really hear a call for help on July 4th, make sure you do come. So we want to test it just to test the PSAPs and see what the response would be, and so on, and keep it fresh in our minds. Because if you don't test it, you don't work with it, everybody tends to forget about it.
Any questions for PJ? All right, membership committee, any reports there?
No report.
While we're with you, how about the awards committee?
We have a nice selection. The group met this evening, the committee met, and we have the following to offer. BLS provider is Diane Cross from the town of Ashland Ambulance. ALS provider is Paul Fink. Agency of the year is Albany County Sheriff's Department. Educator of the year is Ray Davis. Communicator, dispatcher, Jim D. Panera. EMS quality and safety, this is a brand new category. It's for the agencies that demonstrates their commitment to quality assurance and safety of their personnel is Dunham Ambulance. The Harriet Weber EMS Leadership Award, the criteria being longevity, innovation, dedication, responsibility, executive and management skills in establishing, maintaining, promoting, or expanding EMS organizations, agencies, committees at the community and/or state level, is Kevin Roberts.
Really?
Really?
Thank you.
The group also has the Youth Award, Youth Provider, contributions by an individual to the community as a certified first responder or first aid certified for dedication, responsibility, professional behavior, ingenuity, special skills, or insight, is J.D. Dorwood, Castleton Ambulance. And the group put forth a special award, the Commissioner of Health Award, which may or may not be given out, but it goes directly to the current, and that is Dr. Daly for his contribution in combining all the protocols in 3 to 6 regions. The protocols, the naloxone program. Oh, and the new law on source testing, which, believe it or not, he wrote because of me on a call I was on almost 20 years ago. So that is our report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Lynn. Any questions for me? Dean, QI committee report.
The QI committee this quarter came up with a study comparing and understanding how well our field providers diagnose the difference between CHF and COPD. And we recognize some opportunities for improvement. So with that study, we have developed a teaching tool and a communication that's going to go to the agencies and the medical directors. We're going to, in 6 months, do the same study, repeat the same study, see if we've made any improvements, and make some suggestions beyond that. The sample that we used for this study comes from an easy data pool that we have accessible to us right now. There's some question to how long that data pool is going to be available in the future. So on that same thought and topic, we need to put together a committee to study how we obtain electronic data for the region and to come up with a unified method of continuing that stream of data as far as software vendors and reporting mechanisms. And so Dr. Daly thought it would be best that we request from this committee, from this council, that you would commission such a group, a committee, to research this and to come up with some suggestions for the very near future on how to handle some data challenges that we're going to be facing.
Okay. So you're looking, just to confirm, you're looking for representation from this group on the committee, or this group to recommend individuals to participate?
What Dr. Daly thought would be best, and I agree, is that we did put out an email for anybody who's interested in participating with the data project. And as we get those people in that show interest, that we just accept everybody who shows interest in that project and we include them.
Okay. So you're looking for our endorsement.
Correct.
Would anyone like to make a motion to endorse the data management project? Steve Kroll, second. Jim, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any questions?
Can I ask a question more? Is the question about the source of the data or how to extract it? Or both?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. There's going to be some software challenges in the near future. And so we're going to look at a regional approach to capture data in a much, I don't want to say a more meaningful way, but a more robust way than the state data pool that we have available to us right now. Some regions, there's lots of different ways to accomplish this. Other regions have done it where they've gone with one vendor for the entire region for charts. Some regions have gone to a regional bridge type thing, which is a more robust state bridge type of a data pool. We need to really investigate multiple different channels of how to accomplish this, because really that data gives us good QI studies, and we can't count PCRs anymore. Just not realistic.
Further questions? Steve, is there another comment?
Thank you.
Oh,
The notification for this committee and the information will go out when?
We've sent out an email requesting anybody who's interested already.
When is that?
Well, today is Friday. We sent it out on Friday, and I have not received any emails back. I've reached out to a few people already. Everyone I've reached out to was interested in participating. So if I don't get any more responses back by Friday, that'll be 1 full week, I'm going to send out a follow-up email and make a whole bunch more phone calls, because I do need, a pretty good-sized committee to consider this.
What email list did you use? I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I use the ALS coordinator email, the same email list I use for the QI committee, which includes all the agencies, I believe. So,
Can I suggest sending it to agency heads? All
Certainly.
agencies, the reason is I have some IT professionals in my agency that are not on the QI committee, but might be interested in working on this,
certainly.
even though they're not involved with the regular process. That's the way you get a new person
You
in
need
by.
to include the BLS program.
Yeah.
okay.
Kind of a limited database right there, just ALS coordinator.
Well, it wasn't just to ALS coordinators. It was to, the list I sent was to ALS coordinators and the agency leaders that I had that we send to the QI. We have a list of people we send the QI meeting announcements to, and that's the same list I have. And it includes, I thought, just about every agency in the region. So we can certainly send it out again.
Maybe put it on the webpage too.
Send it to the council.
This all kind of developed on Friday, the challenges that we're going to be facing here in the near future. So
Specifically, what ones are you referring to? Just curious.
just the way we pull the data together is not going to be available to us anymore. With the way the state bridge is, the way that software companies are able to access, to put data into the state bridge, and the limited data that's actually in the state bridge right now. So like the study we just did here, we could not do from the state bridge data pool. We had to do it from, we did it from EMS charts. We used that data pool. So that limits it to just EMS charts users. Now that, granted, that's the majority of people, but it still excluded 3 software vendors, which really is not the best approach.
Further questions or discussion? Good luck.
Thank you.
County reports, Albany County,
Nothing to report.
Columbia County.
I just want to expand upon what Lynn was talking about earlier with Dr. Daly and the Narcan program. Columbia County, I was working with the Sheriff's Department in Columbia County. They came on board with the Narcan program, and they've had 2 saves in the last 10 days. And so they're really pumped up. I think everybody in the Sheriff's Department is sleeping with that little blue bag, but it's working.
While they're in their
Hats off.
cars?
I just want to give hats off to Dr. Daly and recognize him for bringing this program forward.
And how many, Tim, do you know how many police agencies was at the class at the end of last month? Or the 28th, 29th, 29th, 30th? We didn't do, I heard it was a full house.
If I could make one announcement relative to BLS, Narcan, and the agencies that's signing up now, I'm getting calls almost on a daily basis for Remo to restock their BLS Narcan or their expired BLS Narcan. We do have a limited sub-stock left over from the pilot program. As agencies call me, I am giving them Narcan out of that sub-stock. However, once that is depleted, it's incumbent upon the agencies to enter into a deal with their medical directors, get a script, and order through your providers. I'm giving it to people now, there's not much left, and once that's gone, it's incumbent upon the agencies to purchase their own Narcan.
Okay, thanks, Tim. BJ, anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Anybody here to report on Greene County?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, great.
Greene County EMS is pursuing a CON for the county. They've started that. We had an EMS appreciation night last week that went very nicely, and on the 30th, Greene and Columbia County are having an EMS day at Columbia Community College.
Great. Thanks, Tom. Rensselaer, Jim?
I just want to, you'll see on your agenda that there's going to be a CFR class starting on, what are you looking at?
June 16th.
June 16th at the Folsom Hill, being taught by Lynn. And just a heads up, we got confirmation that Country Fest will be back at Scottsdale Fairgrounds. Something like that.
Last year was in the same weekend as a major baseball tournament,
Yeah, July 12th.
which was,
Did it happen again this year?
I don't know, I haven't seen the schedule, but it was somewhat difficult to get in and out of the tournament. Saratoga County,
No report.
Schenectady County,
No report.
any items from the floor or other items to be brought before the council this
Do we
evening?
need to, do you want me to make a motion about the $2,500 to spend on the 2014 annual awards banquet? I
It's a
see that
motion.
there.
It's a motion.
Is that something for me to do? Do we spend money?
It's a motion from the executive board.
Yep, that actually, I'm glad you brought that up, Lynn. I didn't see that up there. That actually was brought forth as a seconded motion, and I should have covered it in the executive committee report. I apologize for not doing that. Thank you, Lynn. We have a seconded motion to allocate up to $2,500 to support the annual awards banquet. Tim, what's the date of the banquet this year?
We're working on that now. I didn't get a chance to give my report, so how it was.
Yeah, we just went right over it.
Everybody should have a copy, just to abbreviate it. We did get approval from Samaritan Hospital. We got the okay to have our annual banquet there. Working with Dr. Ushkow now to pre-plan that. It's typically October, mid-October. I sent him about 6 or 8 different dates this morning. He's going to check the availability of the Krause Center, their convention complex, and get back to me with a couple dates. When I get those, I'll shoot them out to the committee so you can check ahead, check your calendars ahead, and we'll see which date works for everyone. So,
Great. So we have a seconded motion. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Tim, I apologize for moving too fast on the agenda. If you'd like to give the rest of your report, please.
Everybody should have it, like I said. Just a couple items to note. Reminder tomorrow, 11 a.m. at the Plaza. Our third rotation of pharmacy students began their internships this week. So far, it's been a great experience, both for our Remo staff and for the pharmacy interns that show up here. For those that are unaware, they do a 4-day it's a week-long internship, 4 days at Remo, and I arrange for a day of ride time, and it's with Colony EMS at this particular time. college was very excited about that, and everybody that's taken it so far has ran and raved about it, so they look forward to that. And we're in the third group right now. That's about it. Everything else pretty much has been covered. So, unless anybody has any questions.
Okay. Any other items, new business? Motion to adjourn. Second. All in favor? Thank you. Have a good night.